Hello, interwebs. We're so happy to have you with us. You might remember us from several different things. Like stuff.
Hello, I'm Trey McClure. You might know me from such things as The Gaze Craft and Drunk Roku on History with Dennis.
What Sharon said. Yes. That is exactly what you might know us from, and that is kind of what I was going for, but... What Sharon said. My name is Dennis. I'm going to be your tour guide on this wonderful romp through our collective imagination.
I'm terribly, terribly sorry.
I thought you were going to say terrified, which might also be appropriate.
Zombie spiders, cavalry.
That.
I do not approve.
So, we have chosen to do, as a collective, something different. Because you can go on the internet and find plenty of podcasts of tabletop games. It's a lot of people talking and lots of rolling dice sounds, which is entertaining, but we kind of wanted to do a video.
It'll be recorded in front of a live studio audience.
By which we mean at some point there may be a dog, but we make no promises.
It'll be a corgi.
Corgi!
So I decided that it was going to be a Fate game, just because
Cat might come back.
Fate is easy and a wonderfully collaborative system. Also, I love it and haven't had the chance to play it, so I figured why not run it, like everything else in my life. I want to do this thing, so I'm going to do it myself first, and then I'm going to invite other people to join.
Such a trend starter.
There was an innuendo in there, in case you missed me almost not being able to keep my face straight, but that's okay.
Nothing straight about you.
Oh, sick burn! We're gonna leave that at the altar for now. So, back to the game. So, space opera in the Fate system. Fate system, space opera. Because space opera is fun, and I don't think it gets a lot of RPG time. Because let's be real, a lot of the systems for RPG space operas kind of suck. Shout out to White Wolf for making Infinite Macabre actually be awesome. But it's a rare breed. So, we all sat down and we talked, and everyone contributed, and we came up with a name for the campaign, which is At the Ends of Empire. May or may not have some foreshadowing involved there. The basic setting is that these three players are the first manned scouting party through a Slipknot. Copyright. Aspero. Into somewhere else. And there are problems somewhere else that we have discussed as players, and feel the need to leave our audience in the dark because I'm a dick.
And he has one.
And I have one.
That's a double dick. It's a two-pronged dick.
They call that Diphalia. Look it up.
Don't look it up. Don't.
I'm going to apologize now for any psychological damage that comes as a result of this. No, I am not claiming responsibility, but I will extend my sympathies.
I know a good doctor.
Yes, she does, in fact. So, the tagline, however, which you could probably find on the internet, because you can find everything on the internet, is, and the gist of what we will be playing is Kung Fu Zombie Space Opera. Because why not?
You're welcome, world.
You're welcome. we've already gone through the character creation process and the world creation process as per the Fate core system. You will likely see images. The reason for this being visual, by the way, is that we intend to feature images of the dice roll as the dice rolls are made, so that you guys can kind of see what we're rolling as we're rolling it. Participation.
Possibly do scan-ins of the sheets and show you guys parts of the sheets as we use them.
The kind of participation that is completely uninteractive, where you just get to see things. That's...
But don't worry, you're interacting with us.
By watching.
Voyeurism is participation? Is that
And-
what this just became?
Yes,
And-
it is.
Yeah, and comments.
And
Don't forget comments. We
Yes,
appreciate
use
comments. We always appreciate comments, don't we, Dennis? We do not leave comments at the altar.
No, we don't.
Are we trying to solicit YouTube comments?
Of
I
course
think that's
not.
what's happening! Which is why... Oh, God.
You can also email us pictures of yourself if you're sexy. If you are a sexy woman, please email Nisi and or Sharon. If you're a sexy guy, you can send your photos to us.
We'll cut that out. Post-production, edit out.
I edit things?
She doesn't edit things.
Balls. Balls. Shit. No,
Shit.
what else? Yes, we've gone through the character creation process. So, I think with that, all that's left is to introduce the 3 characters. And then start playing.
So we look forward to you guys watching and contributing
Yes.
to our stuff.
Understand, as with everything on YouTube, there will be a delay. So, you might not get a response for like 3 episodes.
Response?
Yeah,
Respans.
Okay.
Because space is ever growing.
Yeah.
It gets bigger. And remember, we're going to a different planetary system for this game.
We would like to emphasize the term planetary system.
Because our planetary system is named Solar. That's why it's the solar system. There are no other solar systems, in the way there are no other Milky Way galaxies.
Science.
You learned a thing today.
Science!
The more you know!
So, to begin with, a small and very brief discussion of the basics of the Fate system, such that the people who have never played this, Nisi, and to an extent Sharon. Actually, Nisi and Sharon haven't played this. Sharon's read it. Nisi has done neither.
Yes.
I've read it and I've played
Dresden Files.
Dresden Files, which uses the
Right.
Fate
Some.
system.
Potentially. So, these are Fate dice, aka Fudge dice, also called Fudge dice. You might be able to find them online. That name. They have 3 faces: blank, negative, and positive. And you basically roll these to determine an integer between -4 and +4. So each side is a 0, each blank is a 0, -1 + 1. So -1. To that, you add whatever your skill ranking is, and that's against an opposition that I either decide or against an NPC's roll. That is the basic resolution mechanic at its barest. It's almost naked anyway. Now, all in all, that would be fairly uninteresting as a system. So, the system uses what are called fate points. We are, at this point, using gaming stones in light blue to represent our fate points. Oh, damn it.
That's because it wasn't black.
That's because it wasn't black. Also because I wasn't trying to say 2 different colors. So, fate points have a variety of effects. And where you get them is from your aspects. We're going to talk about how aspects are used, and then we're going to talk about fate points and where they come from, and the fate point economy. Everyone has aspects on their sheets. There are theoretically aspects on every goddamn thing in this world. there are aspects on the scene. The issues of the campaign are considered aspects on everything. If you can use it. As well, most applicable skills in most situations will have the create an advantage action, which allows you to. I should probably have discussed the actions too.
We'll get there.
Which allows you to place aspects or discover aspects that you may not be able to see. The 4 actions for which you would roll, Fate basically breaks everything down into 4 distinct types of actions. There is Overcome, in which you are overcoming an obstacle. Create an advantage. These are all fairly self-explanatory. Thank you, evil actions. And then Attack and Defend are the 4 actions that you will roll for. You can use your aspects, or any aspect that you've discovered on the scene, to give yourself a +2 bonus to any given roll, or to reroll. As for the advice in the core book, statistics being what they are, you generally want to reserve a reroll for when you roll -3 or -4, because otherwise there's an equal and or greater chance that it might end up worse. You can also invoke as many aspects as you can pay for, but you can only invoke each aspect once. Yes,
You invoke them by paying a fate.
Yes. Which is where you spend your fate points. So you can invoke for a +2, you can invoke for a reroll, or you can alternately invoke for effect, which is to say, narrative, a brief narrative boom to the scene. Yes.
And you can pay us fate points.
No, stop. We're not there yet.
What's this part? We're still in the actions.
We're still talking about aspects, and then moving into the fate point economy. The
No,
fate
I
point
was
economy
talking
is
about how the aspects work against us.
Yes, that's part of the fate point economy. We'll get there. So that's what aspects do. Some stunts, if we can't decide on a suitable narrow definition, or if I just feel the stunt is a little crazy, some stunts can also cost fate points. But stunts in general shouldn't. Yes. The fate point economy, since something is so eager, Mark is so eager for this. You spend fate points to invoke aspects. If you've made the aspect, however you made it, you usually create an advantage. But also if you hit someone hard enough, you might have to take a consequence, which means you get a yes, which counts as you having made that aspect. If you create the aspect, you get a free invocation. If you succeed the difficulty by, I think, 3 or more, you get 2 free invocations. And if you tie the difficulty, you get a temporary aspect called a boost that you don't have to pay for. It only lasts until your next turn, actually. And then once you use it, it's out. How do you get fate points then? We've talked about all of the different ways to spend them. But it boils down to narrative control. You get fate points in the same way. Narrative subjugation, we'll call it. Your aspects, as beneficial as they are, can also be compelled. They can be used against you. If, for instance, it would be narratively appropriate for your aspect to cause you difficulty, either because of the environment or because of your action choices, then I, or another player, can offer you a fate point for the compel. If you both agree to the terms, I should specify that, if you both agree to the terms, because you are the final arbiter of what your character does and does not do, then you can accept the narration as it stands and take the fate point and deal with the consequences. Or you can give up your own fate point to the person who's offered you one and say, no, it doesn't matter this time. You can also do that on NPCs too, which is another good way to spend fate points. If you've discovered NPC aspects, you may use the aspects against the NPCs. You start with 3 to begin with. So essentially, the less fate points you have, the more complications you have to accept in order to get more fate points. The more fate points you have, the more complications you can ignore or deny. As well, the better you do. It's give and take. And that is the basics of the fate system. So I'm going to pass around fate points and let everyone discuss with their characters. All at once, go!
Sherry, start.
Okay.
So name, aspects, and I want to say just your top 3 skills. The others can be a surprise.
My character's name is Naomi. Yeah, that's fun. Get to mess that up. Same speed. Naomi Nisbet.
Well, now it'll never be right.
Now,
So you'll never be wrong.
there you go. No, I just think I'm.
Tautology.
Alright. My character is a hotshot space pilot. Her trouble is anything you can do, I can do better. Her
Wait.
first.
Sorry.
Her first aspect is orders are just suggestions, right? No man left behind, and cybernetics are totally cheating. Her great skill is pilot. Her 2 good skills are shoot and will.
What's she look like?
She is 5'10" with black hair, gray eyes, and when she was younger, she got drunk and got a tattoo that she does flex for that she does not have. It is covered by
Interesting.
Interesting. Because somehow I got the idea that she might be a little bit impulsive in making decisions.
What? What? I don't know where you could have gotten that. Counterclockwise. Oh, your turn.
Oh, hi. I'm going to be playing Dr. David Citron. He's a cybernetic engineer with a touch of science. Let's see, what are his aspects? His trouble. Just because it's not broken doesn't mean it can't be fixed. Radiation tolerant. Hippocratic oath. And I always pay my debts. Because that's not going to get me in trouble, ever.
Nope.
My top skill is physical sciences. And then my good skills are will and hypertech. That's how I do it with my cybernetics.
Viewers at home familiar with the fate court system might notice that there are some different skills in play. It's a skill software, so I went there.
And he's 5'11", 170 pounds, with black hair and green eyes.
You're twins! I mean, what?
Go ahead, keep going. You're good.
Alright.
Ah.
That's it? Okay. Secondary note to the viewers at home, or in your office, or on the subway, wherever the fuck you might be. Yay, internet!
They could be on a plane.
They could be, they shouldn't be on a plane.
Hey, planes have Wi-Fi nowadays.
Some of them do.
True facts.
Not violate the directives of your captain, sharing with Kitty.
Sharon's not a captain, she's just a pilot.
Exactly. Aspects, stunts, etc. are kind of subject to change, since we do have 2 people who are relatively new and 1 person who hasn't played in a while. So you might, if you were at home taking notes, that's Stranger Things, you might actually see some things change over the course of the game outside of the designated periods when they do change. That's probably by storytelling caveat.
Sweet. So, I am Tara Shepard.
And that's why his name is Dr. Psycho.
Exactly.
Not agree with either one.
I... yes.
He allowed it, it's not my fault. I am an evangelical planetologist. And my trouble is, they will give in if I talk enough.
And she can talk.
And I can talk. My faith will protect me. I do my best when teaching. And the shepherd is smart, but the sheep are dumb.
That's probably my favorite aspect of the game.
So,
And most of the better ones, by the way, came out of Sharon's head.
that's true. Actually, yes, they did.
I like to make pithy little phrases or aspects.
Because my girlfriend's amazing.
She's very pithy.
She can be very pithy.
Not to be
It just
confused with
leaks out.
See, I was about to say not to be confused with Peachy, which would have been a much better setup.
That's true. That's true. My my top 3 stats are rapport, and then empathy and physical science, because I'm a planetologist, which is important.
Yep.
I'm also 5'2", so I'm super short, black hair, about 115 pounds, and green eyes.
Apparently we all have black hair.
Well,
The
you know-
lesson in this is that in the future, everybody's got black hair.
Exactly.
To be fair,
I've
my
decided-
character did do cybernetic plastic surgery on her.
I've decided that black might be my natural hair color, but because it's the future, that I dyed my hair blue.
Did the
Okay,
carpets match the drapes?
done. No,
No,
that's not narratively important right now.
it's not
Because
never
it's
been
hardwood floor.
ever. Clothes do not come off my character model.
She
Which is
has
why-
the permanently painted on undergarments.
Which is why it's hardwood floor, because the clothes never come off.
You might want to polish that sometime.
I love you.
You should just leave that at the altar.
Walk away. But I'm still putting down blue hair.
Do you? No.
Oh God.
Saying no implies that I walked up the altar in the first place.
Oh, snap.
Oh no!
All right. So, I'll take a tube in my hands and play with this the entire time. Yes, the internet just did, in fact, just be collected. That's what she said. So, Dr. I can't even remember it. It's so terrible.
Cytron!
Dr. Citron, I'm going to call you Captain Nysa.
At least somebody can say your character's name.
Commander Shepard?
No. No. You're in front of me.
That is a general name. It could be anything
I
else.
don't care. No.
Comrade Shepard.
Fine. You can be Comrade Shepard.
I will be Comrade Shepard then.
So we have comrade.
You're Russian now?
I am Russian.
She's ex-Russian. Russia doesn't exist anymore.
Yes.
Ooh.
One world, one state.
Maybe she's from planet
I
Russia.
thought it was one solar system, one state.
That too.
No, that's why it's a confederation. Sorry. Fuck. Confederacy. Edit.
We're not editing that out.
But
Well,
if
I took away Sharon's confederation. I took away the Haitian, so now it's just a confederacy.
she's from planet Russia, and that could be her 9th planet.
There you go.
Or 9th planet. So it's just
Yeah,
Yeah, we can give them Pluto.
Sharon has a hard-on about there being only 8 planets, despite the fact that the setting features a confederacy of 9 planets. I have kindly told Sharon to suck it. I don't care. Pulp narrative wins over your science. Welcome to Faith. So,
what planet has the aspect lives? Planet Pluto. Did I say?
Ooh, you have now been trumped by yourself.
oh man, that was
I didn't know
perfect.
somebody could leave themselves at the altar.
Right?
Oh. No.
No! Use the Angry Birds!
No.
Fair enough.
This one blows, what,
I can draw both.
No, I'm leaning on this one. This one's
Until I
on
find here.
That's where it went.
Yeah.
Copyright.
Oh yeah.
It's a product placement.
No. We do
If
not in any
Angry
way.
Birds
favor.
Corp would like to send us money for these advertisements. I don't
Oh,
know
man.
the name of the company to put it out. So.
Jesus Christ.
Someone put their logo over it.
Don't make
So-
me put you in charge of Crap Mama.
Right?
Alright. So, and with that, and a couple of general setting caveats, we begin.